So this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a review of Black Adam. I finally got around to seeing it about noon. Can't say the previews were all that exciting. Oh well. Anyway, so jumping right into it, it's a DC movie. Apparently, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's been wanting to play Shazam since the earliest Shazam, about 12 years ago. He used to play Black Adam, the early Shazam, Set Adam, the early version of Shazam. The different deities that made up his name were from ancient gods like Egyptian ones and stuff. Whereas the Shazam from the more modern one, which they did show a preview for the new Shazam movie. It's apparently not in it. Yeah, the newer ones, like Greek gods and stuff. Well, still ancient, but newer. And most all the action takes place in a fictional town, Wakanda type town. Except it's not really, well, they're kind of ripping it off. But yeah, DC and Marvel have been ripping each other off for years. Shazam is basically sort of a Superman thing. And he's Captain Marvel, basically. So he's got that power too. So they've kind of gone back and forth. And he's a Black Adam. You have the other Shazam that was earlier. There was a after credit sequence in the original referencing him, and it was cut out of the Shazam movie because they weren't at that point sure who was going to play him. Yeah, so now they know. This movie, Shazam is an anti-hero who has lost his son, who was another hero of the planet, and in the future there's a... Now, I already knew something about it. I already saw the Critical Drinkers review of it, and I knew of the of something about it. I mean, it's been out for a while. I also knew the review of it on the John Campea show, where he was orgasming over the idea that Henry Cavill is somewhere in it, as Superman, and he just thought that was the greatest thing ever. And to which I commented, he's gonna have a cameo at the very, very end, like in Morbius, isn't he? Like, it's totally what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like a cameo in the after credit sequence. Let's do the credits and brag like he's in it, and then have it be literally a cameo, like a line. And it is. It's a line at the very end. There's the line. Something to the effect of, "You're causing trouble." It's like, okay, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, there have already been people on the web that were disappointed at that. So going in, I knew it's a cameo. But this other guy, Campea show, was like, "It was the best thing ever. It was amazing." All over the screen. But yeah, so it seems to be a throwback to the Zack Snyderverse, and a lot of the Snyder stuff in it. They have the Justice Society's in it. They have Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate. And Big Tim Cantrell's a fan of Dr. Fate comics back in the days. Dr. Fate is in this. He's only in one movie though. He's kind of done in this one. Let's just say, Dr. Fate is. He's the sort of magician character. Yeah, they have to keep from treading over the water that the other people MCU's already done. Even though I think Dr. Fate came before Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange has made movies before Dr. Fate. I think that's what happened. Yeah, in the comics and in the movies, Doctor Strange went out first. So it's like, I want to compare him to Doctor Strange. Black Adam is a anti-hero, almost a villain. The Justice Society has to go in to stop him. Amanda Waller sends him in this country, made up country that has essentially vibranium, but they call it something else, like eternium or something, unobtainium, eternium. And the Crown, that was they're playing hide and seek with the Crown. There's an enemy group called the Tech Gang or something, which is a really, really lame name for a bad guy group in a planet, on a planet like the Gang. The Gang. You can't think of a name for these guys. I guess they couldn't call them terrorists. They couldn't call them the IRA or something, or they couldn't call them Cobra or something. They couldn't give him a cool name. But then again, in the Snyderverse, they did call the perpetual engine things from the other planet mother boxes. So their penchant for coming up with whimsical, unintentionally funny names is sort of no end. Mother boxes. So, and Steppenwolf. So we wrote this movie that's essentially them running around kicking ass and beating up bad guys and killing them, apparently. And there's a sidekick kid, and and his mother. They're trying to play keep away with the crown, evil crown that apparently evil diadem, evil crown that apparently, if bestowed on the king from the underworld, will give them immortality. The twist being that it's the kind of immortality that you get from sort of a pre-pottery Neolithic, kind of thing, underworld thing. Not really Greek, but underworld thing. Under the earth, the death is life, life is death thing is Lord of the Ringsy kind of thing is treated as a upside down world joke thing, Stranger Thingsy kind of thing. But actually, DC probably thought of that first, long before Stranger Things. So forgive them for that. But yeah, the underworld. And I know it's called the Upside Down, but anyway, it's the underworld. So we have that going on, and he beats up bad guys. Things happen. It's not a Snyder movie, though. It's directed by somebody else. It's one of the last holdouts before Zaslav took over Warner Brothers. And now they're all going on about the Flash movie because they rejected the Batwoman, Batgirl movie thing. TV movie. They didn't want to release that. But they didn't reject the Flash, and it has nothing to do with this. Because it's in the same universe. Not in the same universe with itself, with Shazam. He's another version of Shazam. Yeah, what I think of it, it was fine. I'm going to go with some of the other critics that it was fine. If the Flash movie is half as good as, okay, but considering the actor, Ezra Miller's, they've been in a lot of trouble, so that movie's not going to go over too well, even if they put it out. I think they shouldn't release it. I think they should put it on video and just cut their losses. Just put it out on streaming and just, oh well, we can't reshoot this. That's what I think they should. But this movie clearly had a lot of elements they were trying to make a little eternal thing with the Justice Society instead of the Justice League, which was also a comic book series. Yes, I know. I know about the Justice Society. And it was more of a DC thing. They were very similar to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was a parody of the Justice Society. Yes. Movie, Sean Connery. They were the Atom Smasher, which is also a funny name, who grows big like Ant-Man when he became Giant Man. So they've already done. It's weird. Some of these characters probably did predate some of the other ones, but because Marvel did it first, as a movie, it's like, oh, you guys are just trying to play catch up. And then we have Cyclone. Oh, there's another version of Cyclone over there too. She makes a colored wind, which is kind of, yeah. Well, she farts. Yeah, that's it. But she's yeah. I'm sure there are some misogynistic, racist guys that are probably thinking that character's not supposed to be that kind. Well, no. But who cares? Creative license. Why not? But yeah, Black Adam wasn't he not Dwayne Johnson originally either. Yeah, at least they didn't get a white guy and put him in blackface. That would have been bad. They didn't do that. Yeah, well, the chemistry between the Atom Smasher and the Cyclone is forced, and it doesn't seem like they really, except for her like making flirty comments, it doesn't make sense. And there's this other guy, Hawkman. They did a version of Hawkman. You get to see this guy was a Super Friends character. You get to see him as a Justice Society character. Also, they changed the race of him too, but they made him more similar to the Falcon on Marvel, and yet that's another case of, well, yeah, that's a similar guy. He's a bird. He flies, bird dude. But that's another case of, well, the Marvel people did it first, and the ethnicity thing first. So you guys are still playing catch up here, introducing Hawkman. Because they already did it over there. They made even a miniseries, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So they already beat you to it. And their version, the guy is even more obnoxious and snarky. Great. Yeah, so you're not supposed to notice that between Iron Man 1 and 2, it's a completely different guy and a completely different actor playing that character. Yeah, it's odd. Yeah. Or is that Rhodes? Yeah, the other War Machine. Maybe I'm thinking of War Machine. Yeah, it is a completely different character. Yeah, War Machine is a different guy than Hawkman. So it's a third different guy, and they're totally different looking. There's a lot of mechanical robot guys running around. But yeah, there's some confusion there. They of course have to imprison Shazam / Black Adam, Set Adam. Not realizing that the bad guy who they defeat in the story, has figured out a way to go to the underworld and come back. He's going to come back. And then as he's about to wreak havoc and destroy the world, then the Dr. Fate uses his powers to go to the underworld, to go to summon Shazam from the prison that he put him in the first place underwater, and awaken him through flashbacks they keep cutting back and forth, cutscenes, not flashbacks, cutscenes to free him. And there's probably a cinematically better way to do that than do it Matrix style. And have cutscenes between demon bad guy comes back, he's destroying everything, and him being freed from prison to come back. They probably didn't need the flashbacks. They didn't. Either you because you've got. Yeah, they did the same thing in Eternals a lot. I'm trying to copy Eternals. Probably shouldn't have, because Eternals wasn't very good. When you have too much, like, it's show don't tell, basically, is the problem there. You don't need to illustrate every moment that they're in and out of whatever. And you don't need to, when you're setting up an action story that's already a little long, you don't need to have like cut scenes from one to the other showing what the other guy was doing, but rather just show the long scene of him escaping after the other guy wreaks havoc. It flows better. The editing flows better. Just show it. Just, okay, I've taken over, I'm not the bad guy, and I'm getting to my exposition. Cut to the prison scene, cut to him going me with his helmet, and pew, gets out. That's when you show that. because then it's more dramatic. It's like, oh, okay, he's been summoned to do battle with demon bad guy. Yeah, that's not what they did. They did it like a Zack Snyder movie. And then Zack Snyder doubled down in that longer Justice League Snyder cut by having make the scenes longer and more talky. No, Zack, that's not how you do it. Not longer and more talky. Less talky, more dewy. But yes, needless to say, I was not invited to the pitch meeting with Spielberg and Nolan, and then later on, I was not. And then later on, the other director guy from DC showed up. I wasn't at the Marvel meeting. Anyway, this movie appears to have some studio interference going on. Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, but they released it, and here it is, and it's getting about medium reviews. It's not horrible. It's fine. It's a superhero movie. The thing is, though, as of late, the later Phase 4 Marvel movies have been kind of hit and miss. So, as of late, DC's caught up just because, well, the Eternals was just kind of, like, no. The Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings is probably about maybe a third of a good movie, maybe 2/3 of a good movie. Great fight scenes in the beginning, great first act element with a fight scene there, and great last act. The middle is kind of like, okay, what's going on? Again, with the exposition, that doesn't need to necessarily work. Characters that don't like each other. There was another movie that came out this year that did the exposition incredibly well for a movie that was about a Groundhog Day type of time travel weirdness, and that was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which certainly should be nominated for Sci-Fi Movie of the Year at the Oscars in that category. They do that because that they actually did the Groundhog Day scenario right. Like, even though it was frantic and went from place to place, you got what was going on because the characters in it were going from place to place. You got it. It helped that they had 3 locations and that they did. I'm not saying you should always do that, but in some cases it works better. Yeah. So, but yeah, the laundromat, the office building, and the house. But yeah, so yeah, that's how to do that. That's how to do the flash forwards and the flashbacks too. Is you have the characters seeing different things in a different way and from their perspective, and then realizing what they've done was wrong and then try to fix it. Otherwise, your characters don't grow; they just kind of stagnate. And that was the trouble with the Eternals, is they were just kind of bland. So they go through the whole movie like old series for 5,000 years and whatever, and nothing really happens. Like, okay, why if they're watchers from another planet do they do this and that? Don't do that. What reason are these two even together? They have no chemistry. It's like Kira and Odo on Deep Space Nine clearly have no chemistry. Clearly, Kira has more chemistry with the Doctor, is shagging him. Scenes, that kind of thing. But yeah, Black Adam. Okay. So, the Black Kal Kat. But yes, Shazam is basically Thor as well. So, Thor, Superman. Ooh, was it a tomb? It was a prison. But yes, that's my review. It's fine. It has the beats in some of the right places. It's not bad. It needed some polishing. We need to edit the script. A little long. If you cut out most of the unnecessary expository flashback thingies and flash forwards and shit, guys doing stuff, and cut that out, and you probably have a streamlined, relatively. You could have lost like a third of the. Oh yeah, the jokes, they don't work. You probably could have lost like a third of that. Whenever they're trying to be funny, it's like Joss Whedon helped or something. It doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't seem genuine somewhere. But yeah, it just like, oh yeah, so I didn't figure out that the evil crown thing was upside down in the mirror. Yeah, I didn't figure that out. Like, wouldn't that be the most obvious thing to do immediately? To testify what the hidden meaning behind life is death and death is life. Life leads to death. Like, wouldn't that be so obvious, even to that, like, Dr. Fate who can see the future? Yeah, like, yeah. And it's not so much that he sees to the future, it's that he knows the multiverse of DC, and he can tell what the multiverse is doing. Kind of like, Doctor Strange. They're similar. It's sort of like how Deadpool and Deadshot and that other guy are kind of the same guy. And yeah. Not the same idea. I wonder what they would do with, although it would be fun, is what Steven Spielberg should do, and he's not going to, should do. Team up with James Gunn and his people, because they went over Warner Brothers, and they should do an actual balls-to-the-wall Teen Titans movie that actually works, because that would be awesome. A Teen Titans movie with actual good jokes. That would be cool, because then you could do, like, the whole gamut. I know there was a TV show on the WB, and it's terrible. To the Titans. Not that. No, an actual Teen Titans thing. And do the Tiamat thing. Do the whole Raven and her father being a demon and all that. And like her mother being a human. Do that story, but as a live action. That would kick ass. Be awesome. That would just kick ass. And the Titans have to fight their evil alter egos and shit. That would be so cool. The cartoon version of that does exist, so what's that? But yeah, they take over Trigon. That was his name, Trigon City. It was badass. That they need to do that. They do. That would be so cool. If Spielberg did that, that would be all right. That would work. That's not what he's gonna do. So he should do. Spielberg, Steven, get on that. Teen Titans. You need to do a Teen Titans movie. With the gravitas and the teen characters and the character development of something like Ready Player One, but it's Teen Titans. It's Nightwing and everybody, Raven, Robin, Nightwing, and Raven, and Cyborg and everybody. Cyborg from the show, that one. Bring the Snyderverse Cyborg in there. He's in there. Have them all in there and be like, okay, this is killer. Do that. And then do another Justice League with James Gunn, who did The Suicide Squad, to help you out on that one. Because he can do jokes. The remake of Suicide Squad was awesome. And the Birds of Prey one was Harley Quinn and the Emancipation of Birds of Prey. Was Emancipation of Harley Quinn was fine. It's just that those two don't go together. Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn don't know each other. They wouldn't hang out. But oh well, except for that. But yeah, so they know what's going on. So yeah, it was a Teen Titans cartoon from the '90s. That was the one. Yeah. Not Teen Titans Go. That's the little cheruby little bobblehead version. No. Yeah, the Teen Titans Go movie was kind of cute, but it was still stupid. It was come on. No, it's just no. But yes, never reviewed that one. I'm gonna leave it at that because Black Adam.